What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Second Opinion Podcast, episode number 365. Episode number 365. We have the longest timer of all time, from what Toaster's saying.
Listen, I wouldn't polish one off while I was waiting. I was like, all right.
5 hours later.
Yeah, it takes a little bit for a 2-minute timer. But anyways, guys,
it takes 2 minutes. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? We're back for another great episode of the Second Opinion Podcast. We got a good chunk of stuff to talk about today. So first and foremost, we're going to briefly talk about what we have been gaming. So I have been playing a good chunk of video games recently, getting prepped for my Madden 25 review. Also, my review of college football 25 is now live, or 24, or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, also, my Steam World Heist 2 review went live. You can check all those out on Cinelinks right now. And I've been playing back through Doom 1 and Doom 2, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. Bolts, what have you been gaming on recently, bro?
No. God of War Ragnarok. College football 25. Still heavy into Call of Duty for whatever reason. I don't know. I can't put it down.
It's the same thing with me. It's like I hate the game and I love it.
It's not even I don't hate the game. I just can't put it down, and I don't know why.
Did I hear correctly that 6 is going to be 500 gigabytes, or is that just some bullshit going around the interwebs?
I think that's just some bullshit, because most of the times at the most it's like 275. I think.
Man, you know how much space I have wasted on my hard drive right now for Call of Duty Black Ops? Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I would not be surprised if that bitch was 500 gigs.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
I forgot about that.
Seems about right.
Yeah, because what it does too is like it uses like 250, close to 300 gigabytes for the game, and then with like the addition of Warzone, multiplayer, zombies, and stuff, it wouldn't surprise me if
it's a fucking lot of space, and it's fucking ridiculous, is what it is. I mean, I understand for all the hoop and hollering, but these next consoles better come up with at least 5 terabyte hard drives next time they be releasing. I'm just saying.
I agree. Toaster, what have you been gaming recently?
Mainly the new season of Diablo 4.
Okay.
I made a necromancer.
Yeah.
That's just cheating.
Yeah.
I know.
Like I did a dual core flurry rapid fire rogue last season of a loot. And that was fun because I was just running around with a Gatling gun, essentially. I don't have to hit anything as this necromancer. I just summon some shit and then, occasionally like throw some blight in there because I feel bad because they're doing all the work. And then apparently you can also summon your golem in tandem with all. This is just easy mode. This is so stupid. So I've been playing that, and I've been working my way back through the Dead Space remake because
it's amazing.
That game. I mean that. Like they didn't. Yeah, that's a remake done right.
Yeah, bro. It's a really, really amazing remake, dude. I'm telling you, I was when I played it, I was really, really shocked. So, all right. So moving on from that, before we move into movies coming soon, Bolts is the one of the one of us that had the gall to go sit down and watch Gearbox's Borderlands movie adaptation. I you as well. So Bolts, as somebody that is such a big Borderlands fan, first off, what did you think about the movie? And secondly, coming like you and me both have met and talked with Randy Pitchford before. So recently he had stated, he wanted to hear what people thought about the movie. And a lot of people hated on it. And then he kind of went into this whole like Randy Pitchford mode to where he was like,
"What's this South Park episode where he goes to Michael Bay's house?"
Oh yeah.
Where's my 250, Michael Bay?
Yeah, that's kind of what happened with this. Like a lot of people were like, "No, it's garbage, it's trash," and he got really upset. Supposedly blocked some reviewers.
Rolling
he said
Stone
that recently
had that headline that was like top 10
dude.
Awful, like most awful, like Rolling Stone magazine went BuzzFeed with how awful some of these reviews are getting.
I'm telling you. But Bolts, what did you think about the overall movie?
As far as it being a Borderlands movie, compared to the games, it is an utter piece of trash, is what it is. The only saving grace is, out of all the video game adaptations to movies, it's probably one of the better ones. But as a movie itself, is hot garbage, is what it is. One of the best characters of Borderlands will always be Tiny Tina. Always. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. She's just one of those characters that just sticks out like a sore thumb because of her demeanor and stuff like that. They had to water her down for this movie for whatever reason.
Wasn't it like PG-13?
Yeah,
it's something like that. But it was just
going for the PG-13 rating.
Exactly.
They just shot themselves in the foot right there.
100%. And it's just when you got the vibe of what Borderlands was, even from Roland to Lilith to Tiny Tina to Claptrap, and even Jack Black couldn't even save it. Come on, Claptrap was great to even a small point. The original voice actor that's in the video games, sorry to say it, Jack Black's our guy, but he did so much better than Jack Black did. It was a complete watered down hot trash of a movie, and they tried to model it after the first game, and it just failed on every level. Kate Blanchett, they had great actors. Kate Blanchett, Jamie Lee Curtis, Jack Black as voice actors. Just because you put all these wonderful actors in there, it ain't gonna make up for nothing. It just didn't.
Yeah.
And it didn't hit anywhere. It didn't home run nothing. It maybe sacrificed bunt for a run here and there in the middle of the fifth inning, and that's it. It was really bad, man. It really was.
I really hate that. I do. I really, really hate that, man. Part of me, like, I had this, kind of yearning of like, please be good, and I'll watch it afterwards. Like, it'll be somewhat of a great experience, and then maybe I'll watch it after this, or after it's released. But when I saw that they casted Kevin Hart I just knew right then and there. I was like, all right, this movie's not going to be good. And then I saw Jack Black as Claptrap, and I'm like, okay, all right, that's understandable, because Jack Black has announced recently that he's doing the main voice of the Minecraft movie. And I'm like, okay, cool. That's like, he loves video games. Jack Black is.
No, what character?
I think he's supposed to be Steve.
No, fucking Steve doesn't talk.
But, what was the, hey, Toaster, what was the Minecraft game that came out from, oh, man.
I'm about to say you mean Minecraft Dungeons, and if that's the game...
No, it was like Minecraft, oh my God, what's wrong with me? They had the story...
Are you having a stroke because you think I play Minecraft? Like,
is it Legends or something?
No, it's another one. There's
exactly 100%.
They can't.
Just saying.
Hold up, I gotta look.
Josh come up with another Minecraft game while he was shitting on his legacy.
It was called Minecraft Story Mode, and it was done by Telltale Games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I do appreciate. I like Telltale.
Telltale has always done really great games.
They like
and I was honestly kind of blown away by a lot of their games, like The Wolf Among Us, the Batman Shadows was really, really great.
Speaking of Batman, if we had time, unless we want to shit on Borderlands more, because the movie just makes it so. I was gonna go see it. I just can't bring myself to spend $25.
I just had a feeling that it was gonna be bad.
I don't like a movie that makes me look at my watch. Yeah. There are only 2 movies that I have seen in the movie theater that have made me do that: the Amityville Horror remake with Ryan Reynolds, and Shutter Island, because I knew what the fuck the punchline was gonna be 20 minutes into that movie.
Hey, listen,
I won $50 going to see that movie.
Shutter Island's not a bad movie.
You can tell he's a patient in the first
of course
minutes of the movie,
but it's still
totally in the middle. Yeah, he did it.
It was him the whole time. All right, real quick. So, movies coming soon. Of course, this coming Friday we got Alien Romulus, which is going to be hopefully a huge mega hit. I really think it's going to be great.
I'm probably going to piss myself watching that movie.
Bro, I'm telling you, I think it's going to definitely bring back that classic feel for sure. So, video games coming soon. We got Madden 25 coming out on the 16th, but if you pre-order the game, you can get it on the 13th. Black Myth Wukong, which comes out on August 20th. Then we have Concord for PS5 and PC on August 23rd. And then last but not least, Star Wars Outlaws coming out on August 30th, which I cannot wait for.
How?
What? What did I skip?
You skipped.
What?
World of Warcraft, The War Within releases.
I did. I'm sorry.
And
when does it release?
Early access on the 22nd if you were one of those suckers. And then worldwide on the 26th.
You're not getting it on the 22nd?
Dude, I have been on this planet for many years, circled the celestial body in the sky many times. I have learned my lesson when it comes to Blizzard games. You
gotta wait.
Yes. How long did it take them to figure out the fuck was wrong with Diablo 3 when they first launched that on PC? Holy shit.
True.
Everybody was like, I bought the game at midnight release and got to play it 3 months ago. That's awesome.
All right. So first and foremost, we're going to talk about The Witcher 4. So Geralt's voice actor has now confirmed he will be part of The Witcher 4. In an interview recently, the voice actor of Geralt of Rivia has confirmed that Geralt will be a part of the next game, but the storyline will not be about him this time around.
I bet you he's going to be like a Vesemir type role.
I think so. That's what I'm thinking. So, Bolts.
What
you thinking, man? I mean, I know you're somewhat of a pretty large Witcher fan. What you thinking about this announcement?
It's gonna the first thing is going to be that your main character is not going to be Geralt. So That's going to be the big thing. Secondly, as long as him return as a voice actor, that's always going to add a bonus, because that's gonna bring some continuity to the game. So the Witcher series is not a failure by any means of any level, and it continue to grow and only will be better. The worst part about the Witcher game is that Henry Cavill is not playing Geralt in the series no more on Netflix. Yeah. That's the worst part about The Witcher of all time. So I mean, just depending on where they go with it and stuff like that, as long as they bring some of that pizzazz of what Witcher 3 was, and like I said, voice actors return to play the characters that they have been playing in the video games, it'll be all gravy. Project Red does a great job with these games, so it's going to be a good game no matter what. I have no fault in what they do. So
yeah, I 100% agree. Toaster, what about you? What do you think about this?
I think it'll be interesting to see where they go. I mean, you could make a game. The hell?
You and that stuffed penis, bro. I don't even know how to react to it anymore. I've got to change that point of view. Jesus. Anyways.
Yeah, anyway, it'll be interesting to see, because I mean, Geralt, the character made such a name for himself over the course of 3 games.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't played one. Gatekeeping fans would be like, you should go play 1, but I don't know. I didn't. My introduction was 2.
Yeah.
And then 3 just kind of was like they figured out everything they needed to do to make 2 amazing, and then just So it'll be interesting to see how they where they take it. Like, is it going to be Ciri that they're focusing it on? Is it going to be a new Witcher? Is it going to be, like, I don't know, how do you do like a passing of the torch? Because at the end of Blood and Wine, it was quite obvious if you got the good ending that Geralt was done.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they don't rush it and don't try to tell people it's going to run on a console it's not going to.
They will. They're like, it's going to run on everything, and it'll work perfectly fine on the GameCube. But yeah, so I think that this could be a really big, great addition to the Witcher series. Witcher 3 has always been a love-hate relationship with me. It's not that I don't think it's a good game. It's just there's so much in that game to do. I have continuously over the years tried to complete as much as I possibly can, and there's either a review that comes up that I have to do or something like that. Don't fucking roll your eyes, you graybeard bastard. There's either a review or something that comes up and I end up like just completely forgetting about it, or something happens and I end up putting it off, and then I realize I'm like, man, I didn't ever finish this. So by the time I get back around to trying to play it, something else happens. Or
it's 4 years later, and
4 years later, and I'm like, damn, I still hadn't even got into this game. So that's.
Wait, did you say you haven't played The Witcher yet?
No, I've played The Witcher 3. I just haven't finished it. No, I just didn't finish it.
Warcraft Guild mates is sent to me like PC porn.
Jesus. No, I just haven't finished
it's a list of parts of a computer that's being built, and one of it was a 4070 Super.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want a 4070 Ti Super.
But yeah, so I think this could be really great, especially if it does focus on Ciri and it has him back in like it has him in that teacher role. I think this could be something really cool and kind of expand the universe a little bit more. Like what Bolt said too, CD Projekt Red has done an amazing job. I think they've kind of proved as well with the DLC that came out for Cyberpunk 2077.
They completely fixed Cyberpunk.
The type of storytelling that CD Projekt Red does as a studio. They want to engross you into that world, and I think this could be something pretty special whenever it does come out. So next up, Phantom Blade Zero dev says nobody needs Xbox. According to Brazilian gaming website Game Plays Cassie, the developer in question, allegedly said no one needs this platform when asked about the lack of Xbox port for Phantom Blade Zero. So, Toaster, what do you think about these comments?
Well, nobody needs you.
Nobody needs you, jerk face.
But you're here, so
yeah.
I mean, I didn't ask for you to be here.
Well, let me say
the game looks absolutely gorgeous, and it also looks like it's going to make me throw my controller.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot, but I mean, the console wars are done. Yeah. It like just because I kind of realized something. As I've gotten older, I've slowly moved over to PC Master Race. So,
yeah.
But I mean, just say you don't want to develop for Microsoft. That's all you have to say, and people will understand that. Microsoft right now isn't really everybody's favorite company with the way that they've been treating studios and things. So yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah. What about you, Bolts? What do you think about these comments? Like, as we move things along into this new kind of point of view for Xbox, like how before they were saying that the Xbox Series X is the most powerful console, and then they stated before that the next Xbox is going to be something you've never seen before, but at the same time have refocused now into saying, hey, you can play Xbox anywhere. We want to make exclusives for Xbox, but we also want to bring some of these games that we own to other platforms. So, I mean, you think people need Xbox?
Xbox, okay. When it comes to Xbox, I'm tired of hearing this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Just fucking do it already and be done with it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to hear rumors about, this company not bringing their game to Xbox because either A, no one has an Xbox, or B, something with Xbox's pricing or their ecosystem or whatever the fuck it is, and nobody in Japan likes Xbox. Okay, big deal. When it comes to Xbox has bought all these companies and done all this and laid off companies and laid off people and destroyed companies and brought companies up, or whatever the hell they're doing. I just need them to quit talking about everything that they decide to do and just do. Okay, companies like that's producing Phantom Blade Zero, they're just sitting back and be like, why do I need to put my game on a console that doesn't sell very well, has stipulations when there's so many things about Xbox that companies don't want to put their games on or try to develop for their games, and so on and so forth. So when it comes to game companies, do what you want. They're on our, just like Toaster said, I think console rules are pretty much over with. You're either going to buy an Xbox, you're going to buy a PlayStation, or you're going to have both. And that's just the end of it. Or if you don't have those, you're going to have a PC. That's the way it is nowadays. So whether they come to Xbox or not, will only either A, hinder their sales or won't hinder their sales, because if they put it on Xbox, they're going to get more sales and make more money. So I don't understand that whole dynamic as far as making video games. Your goal to make video games is to make something that your customer loves, that gamers want to play over and over, and at the end of it, you're a company, you're a business, you want to make as much money as possible.
Go ahead. Another thing this reminds me too is, like, if you remember when that was the fight between the 360 and the PlayStation 3. Mm-hmm. Like, Sony just came out with this like level of arrogance about their console. And Microsoft Microsoft got the fan base it did because it built an amazing ecosystem in Xbox Live. I will honestly say that is the reason why I still buy an Xbox. It's because of Xbox Live. Mm-hmm. This just reeks of that just stupidity of just, my game is better than the Xbox console, so I don't need to release it on the Xbox.
100%, bro. 100%. And like I was saying towards the end of that, when it boils down to, like I said, games that are replayable, games that customers love, games that gamers love, games that you can play no matter what. And like I said, as a business, you want to make as much money as you possibly can, you know. And yes, Sony can fork out, I don't know, $4.6 billion or whatever it is just to put the game on their console. Okay. But in the long run, you can still make more money. It's just one of those things. This whole not wanting to put your game on a console is mind blowing. Now, if Sony paid for the exclusive rights, that's a totally different story.
Yeah.
But if this company just doesn't want to do it because, you know, Xbox is this, and this, that's dumb on their end, because they could make tons more money just putting it on another console.
I 100% agree with both y'all. You know, like, I will state this. You know, I was going to have the opportunity of sitting down and actually checking this game out during Summer Game Fest, but I just didn't get around to it. I talked to some of the development team while we were there, and it just looked badass, bro. Like, there were so many people that were just floating around that booth of just wanting to try the game. And from the video that was showcased just a minute ago, it looks great. It looks really great. But having that type of attitude on things, I just don't really understand that. You know, though, yes, me and Bolts have openly voiced our concerns about the state of Xbox over the last, you know, few episodes of podcasts or whatever. Me and Toaster have talked about it as well. And that, you know, yes, we're all kind of confused on really what the ideology of Xbox is and what they're going to do in the future. Are they going to move to streaming? Are they going to have exclusives? What's going on, where and what? But when a developer comes out and says, yeah, we don't really need Xbox. You know, I'm like, okay, well, when the game comes out from launch date, a year from then, if you don't make your sales, you know, or you don't make your numbers and shit like that, you can't say it's anyone else's fault but your own.
Well, and I mean, the joke's on them as well. Because if you really think about it, the game is supposed to be releasing on the PlayStation 5 and what else?
And PC. So, it's technically on a Microsoft platform in the first place.
You're saying that you don't want to develop for the Xbox. In a way, you are. Because the Windows kernel and the Xbox kernel for both of those operating systems is the same exact kernel.
Yep.
Or very close or similar to in architecture and build.
Yep.
There's the nerding out. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, like you're, yeah, and that's
wild. It's
that's
wild.
But that's the downside of Microsoft too. If you really think about it, you can't get away from them. You can't.
Yeah.
You know, unless you want to do Linux, you want to do a Linux-based OS and then try to convert your game to run on Linux. You know, or you go to Mac and you're using, you know, Apple's limited gaming space, if you can call it that. The little place that they play in over in Apple land.
But you know, we talk about exclusives and stuff like that, and let me tell you something. I'm surprised they haven't announced it or hasn't made it. But let me tell you something. The biggest game that was supposed to be released, last year sometime, was Starfield. We're still waiting for them to announce that shit's coming to PlayStation 5 or whenever it does, because there's got to be very few people still playing that, as a whole, I know, but
once you figure that game out, it's fun.
No, 100%. No, absolutely.
And I can't wait for the what is it, the Shattered Space? Yeah, the Shattered Space expansion, because I want to see Bethesda's take on Dead Space.
Yeah, and 100%. And once again, I played Starfield for months on end and hours on end, and of course I didn't put as many hours of it in it as I did like Skyrim or anything like that. But
the sad thing about Skyrim is I love that game. Caleb will tell you how much I love that game. I always play it, like whenever I start a new game, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do it differently this time. I'm gonna try to use some magic. And then by the time I get to like level 45, there I am, the same hooded, dragon scale leather armor, wearing the Croesus mask, and headshotting motherfuckers from across the town square. With maybe a little flame cantrip and some healing, so because in case I get my ass kicked.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, the next topic at hand.
We talked about Batman the Cave Crusader really quickly, please.
Yeah. So,
Can we?
yeah, go
Is
ahead.
that series was beautiful. I love that
it really
series.
was.
Like initially I was a little like because I'm not a long ear cowl guy. I'm like the Jim Lee short ear cowl guy. Like I like that. But once I kind of got over that and was like, calm down. This is the original way that Bill Finger and Bob Kane had created this character. Like it was really cool to see them. It was weird to see the relationship between him and Alfred, the way that initially came off and like they do such a good job of writing Bruce Wayne as borderline psycho.
Yeah. Yeah, they really did, bro.
Like he's really you can just tell he's like on a knife edge and like Harleen Quinzel, that spin was amazing. Oswald Cockle, and it showed him failing, which is not something you typically see. Like, all the Justice League jokes you could take on anybody in Justice League as long as he had planning. What if he's sleeping? He still had planning. Like, fuck off, fanboy. You don't understand what you're talking about. I'm a huge Batman fan. Y'all know that. But I admit, if Superman really wanted to, he could just look at Batman and kill him, for fuck's sake, But they did such a in showing that not only did he get his ass kicked a few times, he failed, made things worse most of the time.
Yeah.
But it really honestly felt like right at home in that Bruce Timm Batman the Animated Series universe.
Well, I'm going to tell you one of the most shocking things
that we all who grew up watching the animated series and fell in love with that, and Kevin Conroy's voice work and Mark Hamill, the way they just walked that edge of just keeping it dark enough to be an interesting Batman thing, but keeping it light enough so that kids could enjoy it. At least kids during early teenagers during the 90s, because yay, 90s.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing that I really enjoyed about it, that honestly shocked me, was Hamish Linklater. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Bro, listen, he did such an amazing job at voicing Batman. And, coming from the fact that originally this series was supposed to have Kevin Conroy as Batman. That's originally it was going to be an HBO series and all this other stuff and blah, 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 blah. And then he comes in. And as I'm hearing his voice, I'm not even thinking, I'm not even connecting the dots that this is the same exact guy that was the preacher on Midnight Mass. I'm not even thinking about it. But they did such a good job.
His voice work was just amazing. And
my God, it was amazing.
It was such... I want to say homage because it was. It was. It was a literal love letter homage to Kevin Conroy's vocal stylings of Batman, and he didn't copy it, which he ran it parallel.
Yeah.
It was like.
I loved pretty much everything about this series.
What you
said.
If you line them up the vocal patterns on an audio editor. I'm trying not to say that they would match up perfectly because that would just be doing an impersonation. But what I'm saying is he caught the peaks and the valleys, the nuances that made Conroy's performance such a great one. I think Hamish Linklater nailed those. He dotted all the T's and crossed all the I's, and just it was odd, and it worked perfectly with that portrayal of Batman.
Yeah. I agree, and I liked how it was this is a different universe kind of Batman. So there was the Oswalda Cobblepot. So she's this
lounge singer,
big thick ass woman, and it
was dark, dude. Holy shit.
bro. Even the Harley Quinn, the Harley Quinn in this universe, how she's not this laughy, jokey, crazy, kooky character. She's I'm super fucking serious, and I'm gonna fuck every one of you guys up. I loved it, man. It was so different, but it had such a instant classic feel to it. I really definitely hope that we at least get 3 seasons or 4 seasons out of this show. I would love to see
like this has given me, like this series, and then seeing like the stills from James Gunn's upcoming Superman movie. Seeing the list of actors that are in, either rumored to be in talks or in contention to be the Batman of his universe.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm really interested to see how that goes. But this is starting to give me hope that
that DC might be leading down the right path.
Just needs to stay the fuck out of James Gunn and Peter Savan's way.
So
like they just like somebody take all of those people in suits and just lock them in a room somewhere. Give them free donuts. Say it's like a marketing meeting that's gonna span like 10 years. But like no, seriously, like they need to stay out of the fucking way, because that's the problem that Warner Brothers is having right now is they keep getting in the fucking way of the IPs that they have. Like Max or HBO Max, before they updated it to HBO Max, was fucking amazing. Yeah, they had every single DC animated movie like from the past like 15 years. And if there's one thing that DC does fucking amazingly well, it's animated movies. Yeah, like
when they updated it to Max, everything just fucking changed.
Right,
Yeah. So, what were you gonna say, Bolts?
You're a big Batman guy, of course, and DC is what it is. I'm not big into comics like most people. I'm more of an anime guy. So, on that. But what do you think about the new Penguin series that's supposed to come out? The Penguin that played Colin
Farrell. Yeah, I think it feels like it's going to try very hard to be a Gotham style Sopranos.
That's kind of what I was feeling, bro.
If they stick to that, I don't know. I mean, they're going to have to do a really good job with a story, and trying to tell a compelling story in Gotham without Batman.
Yeah, exactly. No, 100%. That's the way I was feeling about it when I was watching it. I'm like, where are they going to roll with this? Because they're going to have to put Batman in there somehow, some way.
Right. I mean, because it is the Penguin. That was the problem with Gotham.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think if they do what Toaster just said, if they do it as like a Gotham Sopranos type show, to where it's just mainly focused around like crime lords and Penguin's kind of rise to
the mob scene,
the mob scene. Yeah. Then I think that it could be good, honestly, because of Colin Farrell. Because Colin Farrell is like, he really honestly blew me away as Penguin.
When I first watched that, I didn't even know it was him, bro. I didn't even know it was him.
It also gives the chance to see some of the street level like heroes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro.
Like Detective Montoya, Vicky Vale, investigative reporting, Commissioner Gordon, Barbara, even before she becomes Batgirl. That could be their tie-in to the Bat family, is you have her before, or you could also tell the story of, if this is as Penguin is coming up, you could totally tell the story of how Gordon became Commissioner Gordon, because this totally, and they could also just continue to fuck with people's heads about is Bullock truly a dirty cop, or is he just an asshole?
Yeah.
But this brings in Flash, this brings in Bullock, this brings in all the corruption of it. I
still love the Tim Burton Bullock. Like, didn't he get shot by the Joker? Like his hat falls down.
No, that's not Bullock. It's Eckhart.
That's Eckhart.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's Eckhart. Yeah, hey, Eckhart.
Eckhart. No, I really hope that they let Matt Reeves continue with like the if not his take on the Batman, because I liked Pattinson.
Yeah,
I
did too.
No, I thought he could have been worse.
I really honestly thought that Bolts was going to hate that film. I thought he was really going to dislike the Batman. But I mean, you relatively liked it, right?
I was pleasantly surprised by it.
I really wish, like, so being the Batman nerd I am, I have to. I'm sorry, I'm totally pirating this right now, but
it's okay.
So this is my list. All right, Bruce Wayne, Michael Keaton, hands down, best Bruce Wayne of all of them.
Okay.
Best Batman, Ben Affleck. I'm a Batfleck fan.
Listen, I am so glad you said that shit because I have like secretly never come out and been. He did such a good fucking job as Batman.
Something fucking when him and fucking what's his Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character are walking through the sewer, and he's like, "So why the voice?" And Christian Bale's like, "Dude, he fucking knows who you are. Stop it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but like for me, that the Ben Affleck's Batman was the Dark Knight. That was the Frank Miller Batman.
Yes.
That wasn't, the Justice League Batman. That wasn't the campy 60s Bat. That was fucking Frank Miller's Batman. And that's when Batman returned to being a fucking badass.
Yeah.
And, that was like
that first initial scene
when he fucking rescues, and he just wrecks shop, dude.
Bro, he slams that dude's head down into the wood paneling. And I was like, holy shit, this is the Batman I've been waiting to see.
The voice in my head when I read a Batman graphic novel or a comic book, Kevin Conroy, and it will always be Kevin Conroy.
Oh, yeah.
English link letter.
100%.
Dude, A+ for effort, A+ for presentation, just A+ across the board, my friend. If we could get him on the podcast, that would be fucking awesome.
let me see what we could do. All right, so next up, Max Payne 1 and 2 remake enter full production. Control 2 features in playable form. So it says Remedy confirmed it is remaking the cult classic slow-mo shooter Max Payne 1 and 2 in 2022 as part of a collaboration with Rockstar, and the studio has sporadically offered updates since then. So it says Remedy, blah, blah, blah. More specific details say that Remedy is in development with this game. The team has been working towards developing the game to an early functional state from beginning to end. It also says, as for Control 2, the sequel to the 2019 acclaimed weird office shooter that's not quite such an advanced stage. Right now, it is in production readiness mode. So it is at the point of being in playable form, but is not at the point of being ready. So coming from somebody that's a huge Max Payne fan, I am a diehard lover of all things Max Payne. Bolts, what do you think about this? I mean, the news that Max Payne, the remake of these classic games is coming back.
The bad thing, the only bad thing about remaking these games that were back on the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox consoles and so on and so forth is the size of the game.
Yeah.
That's the only drawback, because Max Payne 1 and 2 were just awesome. They really were. A step above everybody as far as gameplay, storytelling. Rockstar did and Remedy did an awesome job on this, and that I'm excited for it. I will play. I don't play remakes. I'm not a big fan of remakes. I will probably play this. Most likely, will play this.
Yeah.
But my biggest thing, like I said, is the size of the game. Because if you're going to remake it, and of course you can't add anything more to it, But it's just one of those things. I'm always concerned about remakes, especially games that are like on the previous consoles or the older generation consoles. Is just the sheer size, because you're going to be done with that in 3 hours, figuratively speaking. But as far as a remake, for us to wet our whistle while we continuously to wait for GTA 6 and whatnot, it'll be a good breath of fresh air,
Yeah. What about you, Toaster? Are you excited about Remedy and Rockstar working together on bringing this amazing franchise back to life?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first two and the third game actually.
Yeah, I love the third game.
I cosplayed, that was my Halloween costume one year, Max.
Oh, really? Max Payne?
I dyed my hair super black, and I looked really weird with a black beard.
No,
Yeah,
no, not you.
Yeah, strange. But yeah, no, I mean, I would. I'm just gonna talk about Dead Space again, apparently. Yeah, but that's the perfect example of a remake done right. And if they do the same thing with the Max Payne series, where they keep the story and then just kind of expand on side stuff, but make it linear so that way, you're not like, open worlding fucking Max Payne, because nobody wants that. That's fucking GTA.
Yeah.
But if you just kind of expand on some things and, maybe flesh out some more of, Max's story, or you just bundle it into one download and just remake it and make it the game that it was. It's just a, bullet time shoot fun fest.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, they could do what I can't even think of the studio, but they could do what they did with Star Wars Bounty Hunter, and just kind of re-release the game in its original form. Update it to better graphics. Give it better frame rates, better controls.
What Blizzard did with Diablo 2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, kind of just re-release it and be like, hey, it's somewhat of an update. Everything kind of looks a little bit better now.
That's all they did.
Yeah. Well, I will say, Jordan played Star Wars Battlefront, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, the re-release or re-release, whatever you would call it. He said the controllers were much better.
Out on me.
The camera was finally fixed. A lot of good things about the game were kind of done over. But Max Payne is just one of those games, dude. Like, I remember the first time playing Max Payne, I was just like, I was fucking mind boggled and blown away. How amazing that game was, and the fact that I got to sit like right across from the face of Max Payne during Summer Games Fest just like made me totally geek out while I was sitting there. I'm like, I wanted to walk up to him. Everybody was coming up and being like, hey, can we take pictures? And I was like, I can't do that, bro. Like, I've never been that guy. I've always tried to be that guy to like give developers and other people their respect. Like, I don't want to walk up and be that type of like, especially at an industry event like that, but everybody was doing it and I was like this close, and then Jeff Keighley walked on stage and I was like, you son of a bitch. I was like, I wanted to take a picture with Max Payne, but yeah, I've just always been such a huge fan. I love the first, second, and third game, and I've always I think that's the reason why I ended up liking Sniper Elite so much, is because it had that kind of Max Payne-esque, like slow-mo bullet time perspective. So I would love for them to re-release this. Hopefully it'll come out at a cheap price instead of something like $79.95 or some crap like that. So real quick, I'm going to get on my soapbox. Haven't really had a chance to talk about this, but coming from somebody that worked at GameStop for some time, as did Bolts as well, GameStop kills Game Informer magazine after 33 years. Longest running gaming publication in the U.S. has been shut down by GameStop, with many staff members learning about this through social media. I'm going to just say this right now. Andrew Reiner and Brian over at Game Informer, which Andrew Reiner now, he works for Gearbox, but Brian was just such a great guy. He'd been there for so many years working his ass off, and the fact that GameStop was just like, fuck it, we're going to cut down one of the biggest journalistic hubs in gaming history without even letting our employees know, without really kind of, of course, I think they got some type of, like, hey, this is what's happening. We're shutting down as of today. We're giving you a little bit of money to kind of get things by, but like, what the fuck? Fuck you, GameStop. I will not, plan.
It's not GameStop. It's the Ryan Cohen, I think his name is.
He's the CEO of GameStop.
Yeah.
Like, it was his decision. I will not be spending money at that company any longer. Plain and simple.
Well, I mean, dude, that's part of the problem with GameStop is more and more people have gotten more comfortable with digital media.
Yeah.
So nobody's buying physical stuff anymore.
Yep.
You know, and
no,
honestly,
I 100% agree. But
like,
whenever you
I think the
offer,
last collector's edition I bought was fucking. Oh, I fell for the Avengers game.
yeah. Well, what I'm saying is like whenever they
like, collector's editions are suck since. Oh, you stupid jackass!
The big thing is that when digital media started really heavily hitting, and a lot of people stopped getting physical media and just started getting digital codes, they switched it to digital versions of the Game Informer magazine. But instead of spending that money,
apparently they started publishing again because they were actually doing okay enough to where they could start,
Yeah, so that's what pisses me off about the CEO's remarks. He was like, well, we can't put money into something that's not making us money. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are you getting at? I don't understand what you're saying right now, because what you're saying is they weren't making you any money. Yeah, they're not a business like, GameStop, but I mean, your company is worth billions. So don't act like you don't have the money to at least, even if I would have rather them drop the scale of Game Informer and said, hey, we're going to be cutting some jobs and kind of, making things more digital than physical. Okay. You know what? That's understandable. But to just completely cut it, and the way that they did it is when they cut the
sale.
Huh?
Or sell it.
Or sell it. Yes, bro. Sell it, because the way they did it, they cut the whole website and they didn't save the back data for it. So years upon years of journalistic, writings are all gone. I mean, they're gone. I'm like, now, mind you, as I was coming up as a games journalist, that's where I looked at these magazines and was like, this is like, I want to get to the point of covering games and doing this type of shit, and over the years, learning more about Game Informer and what it kind of took to be a video games journalist. Game Informer was a really big hub for me. And it's kind of like what I told you guys before. It's weird not to source Game Informer for topics on the show and stuff anymore. We usually try to kind of bounce around and do something from Cinelinx and Game Informer and Eurogamer or whatever else. But, it's just weird. The website's gone. It's just a placement, and then the worst thing about it is that supposedly, from what they said, the front placement, like the front header image that they sent out to everybody on social media, was all composed by AI. So I'm like, God damn, bro. Like, how fucked up is that? So Bolts, as a former GameStop employee, I mean, do you have anything to say about this?
It does suck. Excuse me. It's been around the business for quite, for 33 damn years, and it's been a source of information for a lot of gamers and so on and so forth. And it's been great information, from anything, to the little quizzes on the back, to the holiday guide list that they bring out. They bring out every holiday season.
Oh, the April Fools list.
What, exactly.
Like, what's that dude's name? The Vader.
Oh shit, bro.
The Dark Vader or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And from the Game of the Year or to the Video Game Awards edition they would have every year. It was a great piece of information. It was a great little magazine. A lot of great bathroom reading material. I don't care who you are. 90% of the time, if you had a Game Informer, that's where you're going to read it. So. It was a great magazine, and it sucks to see it go. It really does.
No, I mean, it was following on great footsteps too. Like, you had the Nintendo Power magazine back in the day for those of us that came up with the original Nintendo. Flipping through that thing through cheat codes for like Simon's Quest and shit like that.
That's it.
And I actually subscribed to Game Informer for a little while. I got some really cool covers.
Yeah.
And it was good to read, and it was good to read their writers too, because they were super excited about the games that they were talking about, and they wrote a lot of them wrote like you could just sit there at a bar and have a beer and discuss this, kind of stuff with them. So
100%.
it sucks. Like this investor guy apparently is getting sued or something.
Really?
I think he's involved in the Bed Bath and Beyond. Hold on, let's go to the interwebs to determine what is
Okay, real quick.
what.
I'm gonna show you guys how much of a Game Informer fan I am. Like huge stacks of Game Informer magazines. I'm talking about 2 double stacks, probably, and then the ones that I have over there. There's at least a total of 100 of them that I have that I've collected over the years of just being like a fan of the magazine.
I know, because when did Evolve come out?
Bro.
Oh, there's the worst Assassin's Creed game cover.
Look, I'm telling you, man.
3.
Look, Disney Infinity.
Ooh.
Like I'm a huge fan of this magazine and their platform, dude. And Doom, that was 2016. There's some in here that have the old Game Informer logo on. And I don't understand. I don't understand. I really don't. Like, tell me, Bolt's really put the nail on the fucking head. Like, hit the nail on the head. Why did they not just sell it? Look, Resistance 3.
No,
I mean, come on. Anyways, what were you talking about, Toaster? I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, it sucks.
Like, I was just saying it sucks. So,
No,
can we move on from this topic?
Yeah,
You're a fucking hoarder, Caleb. I'm like, okay, bro.
I mean, we all look to that publication for inspiration. Some of my best opinion pieces came from me reading an article that somebody wrote in Game Informer and me just going, this motherfucker right here, and I just it made me want to write. So yeah, it's unfortunate that this. Oh, I was trying to figure out what the fuck this guy was getting sued about over Bed Bath and Beyond. That's what I was doing.
Gears. What was that? Gears 3? Man. Nostalgia. That's what the podcast has turned into. Me going through Game Informer magazines.
He was just in with a $47 million lawsuit from Bed Bath and Beyond for insider trading. So this guy sounds like, just a stand-up gentleman.
Here you go, Toaster. I didn't even realize that I still had this, but
Is it Mass Effect?
one of my old Detective Comics Batmans.
Wow.
And look, Comic Zone. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Breakthrough Sega Genesis game.
Yeah. Such a breakthrough. But yeah, man, I don't know, dude. Like, that's what bugs me, bro. Like, look how fire some of these Game Informer magazines were. Like that, dude, the theme settings that they had for each one of them. Like, this is BioShock. I mean, God, man. There was such a massive influence on the game on the gaming world out there, man.
Yeah.
Borderlands. Anyways, let me get these. Let me clear these off, so I'm not running into them and knocking a bunch of shit over.
I guess while Caleb's going through his Game Informer stash, we got a surprise from THQ Nordic this week.
Yes,
we did.
Yes, we did.
I also realized I'm a shitty Darksiders fan because I did play a 3. I just forgot there was a 3. Sorry.
We all forgot there was a 3, bro.
Yeah, I mean, there was also a 4, technically, because you got to play a Strife.
Yep.
No, Genesis was not fucking 4, bro. Genesis was not 4.
But we got a teaser of the Primal Fates. That's what those guys were?
Yeah, something like that.
Just roaring back to life. That's it. And that's all THQ Nordic gave us. Which is, of course, sent all of us fanboys into a fucking meltdown. Because, is it war? Is it death?
What's going on?
Is it going to be all 4, where it's a multiplayer 4-player co-op?
Hey, I'd be down
If
if it was done right.
I don't know. That's not a game that needs co-op. No.
Oh no, I concur. I
know. It's just.
I just put it out there in universe.
More studios need to take a stand, other than EA, because EA making the Jedi games was beautiful. I love those games. Those games are amazing. But they still kind of feel like EA going, well, we can make awesome single-player games that don't have microtransactions and are a lot of fun to play and have a compelling story, but we won't.
Exactly.
Which pisses me off.
Oh, look, Toaster.
Batman Arkham.
Oh, man. That was such a good magazine. But yeah, I'm like super excited about this news, man. I mean, the fact
you can go download the Darksiders package from Steam. It was like fucking $12 for everything.
I actually have I got a gameplay corner series coming up that I did the first 30 or 40 minutes of Darksiders 1, 2, and 3. And man, oh man, dude, like 3 is definitely different. And I remember I did not give 3 a very good review.
3 is a game.
3 is a game. That was my review. I'm like, 3 is a game. 2 out of 5
is a game.
It is a game, yeah. So 3 was just, man, 3 was irritating for me as well because I was pretty sure we were supposed to have strife. You know, so like I felt like, especially whenever I realized the story was like, oh, okay, so this is taking place at the same exact time as the other ones. And then as I started getting into the story,
aren't they all taking place at, like, isn't the same time that like Death's doing what he's doing?
Yes, it should be. Yeah. Absolutely.
Death is the only one that's like not in the same exact area, supposedly. So like that's
it was very smart of them to release 2. Because compared to War, playing as Death was so much more fun.
Oh my god, bro!
War was just like an M1 Abrams. Like War was literally a World of Warcraft tank.
Yeah, he really was. Like it was the same moves.
I honestly felt like that was like World of Warcraft, not Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, it was like the same moves over and over again.
And like how you unlock things as you know, and then Death came along, and I was like, this is fun as fuck because he's like bouncing off the walls, he's like combos. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Death's gameplay style, the way that they did how you can like, you know, pick up items and equip them, have secondary weapons so easily. It was such a smooth game. So I think that's the reason why I was so irritated with 3 is because it's almost like they kind of went backwards, and they even give you that option with 3 of like, oh, well, do you want to play as the classic gameplay style or do you want to play something new? And I was like, oh, okay, I'll try something new. And I'm like, no, this is horrible. What did they do to my game? It was so bad. Remember the
streamer that did the video when Bethesda introduced Fallout 76? And he was talking about how you have this restaurant and they're known for making this burrito and it's like the most amazing burrito on the face of this planet, and that's all they, you know, and then you go there and they try to get you to eat a wedding cake.
Yeah.
And he's
like, such a fucking jackass. I'm sorry. Oh my god. I remember it.
Why do I have to be the jackass?
You know why? Because you were right.
Yeah, I was. Pretty much. Hey, also a little bit of other news about TH Nordic. They're going to be apparently remaking Gothic 1 also.
Oh, yeah. I did see that. Gothic 1. Didn't they do a Gothic remake already?
I'm not even sure, bro. I just know that back in the early 2000s, that was a slow-paced RPG, and that's exactly what they're going to turn this one. They're going to remake, and it's going to be exactly the same.
I don't know about that.
You know, there's a lot of fanboys about that. So,
moving on from that, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 purely round-based zombie mode gameplay has been detailed. Following a brief introduction of Call of Duty Black Ops 6's zombie mode earlier this week, Activision and developer Treyarch have shared first gameplay details of what is called a purely round-based zombie mode.
Old school zombies, basically, then?
Old school zombies are back. Round-based zombies. So in
that was
this,
the best, though, man.
bro, listen, round-based zombies are the best. Not a question. So it says, story-wise, Black Ops 6 zombie mode begins after a group of former Requiem members are liberated from the remote Terminus Island complex in the Philippine Seas. May is one of the 4 playable operators in the latest iteration of the zombie map. Or zombie mode. Terminus Island is a bio-research station for Project Janus, and those pesky dark ether undeads are soon to return. So I did see in this Terminus cinematic gameplay trailer that they showcase. It shows off of course, gameplay like what we're seeing right now, but it also announced that they plan on hunting down Richtofen. So I am very excited to see what this gameplay mode is going to do. Supposedly, there's a good chunk of, or a little chunk of influencers. Look at that shit. Holy fuck. So there's a good chunk of influencers that have been able to have the opportunity of seeing a little bit more gameplay than what has been showcased. And as you just saw right there, I mean, it looks fucking phenomenal.
It looks like with the T virus is
bro, I'm super down.
Yeah.
I'm super down. Especially the fact that this game is going to be available on Xbox Game Pass. The fact that you're going to be able to literally just, if you have Game Pass, download Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and be able to play multiplayer, zombie mode, the story mode.
Only if you're paying for the top tier.
Only if you're paying for the top tier. You're right, Toaster. You're right. That's the new thing now. So if you're paying for just regular Game Pass,
no
you're
Call of Duty 6 for you.
Now, Bolts, what do you think about the return to round-based zombies?
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
End of story. Just sitting there for rounds and rounds and rounds, just facing hordes and hordes, running around and locking rooms and stuff like that. And it's the way, just running around in circles. It's the way it was supposed to be, and it's the way it is, man.
Yes,
so
and
I'm super excited.
In this, what they're showcasing now is supposedly this new injection that you can take, and then it puts you from first person mode into third person mode, and then you just completely demolish all of these zombies in front of you. Kind of like what Bolt said too, is like it's a return to classic form of like round based zombies. Now I did like the testing of Outbreak. I thought it was, I didn't think it was horrible, but I just think that they could have really focused in and made it, a round-based zombie game, and it could have been a lot better than what it was. But Toaster, I mean, do you, I know you're not great at shooters, or you're slowly but surely getting better at shooters, but
I just have not ever had an interest in Call of Duty ever.
I got
really.
You. I got you. Even zombies?
No.
Mm.
I like. Plus, although I hate to say this because
Caleb's like,
I'm like,
I hate to say this because the CEO of this company is also a dick. But I still play Destiny 2. Yeah, that guy's a dick.
Yes.
Somebody hacked his wiki page and holy shitballs.
I saw that.
That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't condone being a dick to people on the internet unless you're a dick to physical people, because even though your game's doing pretty well for itself, you're like, I'm going to lay off a bunch of people.
Yeah, I'm going to fire, a bunch of other people for no fucking apparent reason and not tell any, not really give a good reasoning of why, when my game has gone from, great to kind of dips to now being a really highly sought after multiplayer experience.
I like sci-fi shooters and I I like Dead Space. Toaster is not getting paid to reference this game at all during this podcast. He just really likes
If you fucking say Dead Space one more time, no.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. I love Dead Space.
But like I don't know. I just for some reason I think the initial like stories of the toxicity of the online base for Call of Duty games and things like that just kind of I never really had an interest in it. So I mean it's popular. My brother's like, "Are you gonna get it?" Like, no. You ask me every launch, and I'm like, no.
Your brother plays Call of Duty?
Yeah. But the fact that it's going to be free on Xbox, I don't know. That might change my mind because it's kind of like, well, I have to pay for it, or it's okay.
Yeah.
No.
Toaster calls his brother and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Playing Call of Duty with Celeb." And you're like, "How the fuck did you even?"
But I think like the thing for me is I like like Destiny. I like that concept. I do like how you can really kind of stick to the player versus environment, and not have to do the online stuff, the PvP stuff.
Yeah.
I do kind of feel the missing out because I'm not really in a clan, so I don't get to do the raids.
Yeah.
But I still like if I'm going to like turn on a shooter, that's pretty much what I go to, Or I actually downloaded the Gears of War redo. Yeah.
Gears of War. I have no comment on Gears of War. Moving on from that into our last topic of the night, Doom 1 and Doom 2 enhanced bundle are now official. id Software Quakecon has happened.
Excited for Doom.
Huh?
He looks super excited about Doom.
Are you talking about bolts?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It looks like it could potentially be his as Jay's to Skyrim.
I'm just super excited that these games are getting 60 frames per second. It's just
listen, not just 60 frames per second, Bolts, you son of a bitch. Okay.
Oh.
120 frames per second.
There's more.
All right, so this is what the big thing is with this announcement. So not only are the games re-released, but if you currently own them, of course, a lot of people do. This comes as a completely
You might have them on
free,
the original floppies.
Yes, this comes as a completely free update, and it includes Doom 1, Doom 2, all of the DLC, community map support. 1080p 4K 60 frames to 120 frames, a new re-recorded version of my good friend Andrew Holschultz IDKFA Doom 1 soundtrack. He also re-recorded the Doom 2 soundtrack as well, and there's been 16-player multiplayer mode added to the game. So another thing too is Machine Games, id Software and Night Dive Studios have done a new level for the game, and it's called what is it called? Where's my article? Legacy of Rust. So I've been playing this for the last 2 days or so, and it is really honestly just
at least the last 3 or 4 decades. What do you mean the last 2 days?
Shut up, bro. The re-release, but I will tell you this: the bundle itself is only like $9.99, I think. So, and the online death matches are honestly insane. I mean, they're really, really crazy, like very fast paced. And the fact that they just
does it bring back? I was gonna say, is it gonna bring back like Quake Arena and stuff like that? That type of vibe as far as intense.
It really, honestly, it really does have that kind of Quake Arena kind of classic vibe, but in of course, in 16-bit form. So I've just been playing it nonstop. It's been really, really fun. I played back through Doom 1 and Doom 2, and now I'm going back through the master levels right now. I also played a Legacy of Rust, which is just great. It's really, really cool and a great return to classic form, of course, for id Software and Quakecon. I really hated that I didn't get to be there this year. But, the kids started school on a fucking Friday for some reason. So, whack ass shit. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Second Opinion Podcast, episode number 365. I don't know, next Sunday. Are we shooting for next Sunday?
Sure.
I won't be on. No, because Dusty works. I got King. So
okay, so Toaster?
Yeah, I can.
Next Sunday? Okay. So next Sunday, be ready for another live episode of the Second Opinion Podcast. Please make sure to check back soon for more videos, reviews, news, and much